Hi everyone! So it has been some time since I last shared my mini makeup collection, and I thought I would make another video because I have added so many new cuties to my collection, including a Louis Vuitton mini that you are just absolutely going to love. So stay tuned for that. Additionally, I'll be sure to share my tips and tricks for the best ways to find some of these cuties here if you are interested in adding some to your own collection. Finally, as a way to say thank you to all of you for all of your support of my YouTube channel and for all of you who take the time to watch, I am going to start doing some giveaways between now and the end of the year. So today we'll be featuring this little set, which is an adorable little mini backpack that is packed to the brim with all sorts of really cute minis, as well as this little Hello Kitty bag charm. So if you are interested in this, be sure to watch to the end of the video and I will give more instructions there. So if we haven't met, my name is Jo and I'm a lover of all luxury bags and beauty. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe and be sure to click the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Okay, so as I said, I actually have other videos on my YouTube channel where I have shared my mini makeup collection. So if you are interested in seeing some of those past videos, be sure to check them out. I will include a link up here in the corner. Now in those videos, I had actually stored my minis in these little, they kind of looked like snack boxes or like little mini tackle boxes that I had found at Target. And since then, I actually have transferred everything into this large craft box that I found at Five and Below. And I really like this just because I can fit so much into one place instead of having three different tiny boxes. This is not actually all of the minis that I have, but these are the ones that I use most in my content. So I have often been asked, do you actually use these minis, or do you only use them in your content? And the answer is both. I have minis that I do use for my own personal daily life. And then I have some that I find to be particularly special or just really cute that I save specifically to feature in my social media content. So one last caveat is that I collect a lot. I do have a lot. And I always say this in all my videos because I just want to be clear that, this is a lot of stuff and it is not necessary. It is not something any normal person should aspire to. A big reason why I have so much, other than the fact that I do love it, is because I make content. And so I'm not saying that anyone else should go aspire to collecting all of these minis. If I didn't do this job as a content creator, I definitely wouldn't have this many. So I just always like to throw that out there just to make sure everyone's keeping perspective as to, why I'm sharing all of these things with you. Okay, so what I love about this is I can open it and it opens all the way up. Kind of reminds me of caboodles. Is anyone from the caboodle era? It just takes me back. But anyway, so this opens up all the way, and this is how I am currently organizing my items. So at the top here, you'll see I tend to keep things really grouped by size. It's not really very well organized. It's more just how much can I cram in every single spot. But I've got a lot of my lippies right here because I do think a lot of companies just use the same concept of packaging, but they, all have their different brands. So over here I have a lot of my Rare Beauty minis. Now I love these. I just think they are a great size and they're really easy to travel with. So I have, this is my newest one. This is currently, as of today, let's see, today is October 14th, 2025. This is still available in the Sephora Rewards Bazaar, so I'll be sure to go into more detail about, again, where I find all of these products. I do also really love luxury minis, so some of my favorites include like this little mini Chanel lipstick. I found this one on eBay, and a lot of people often sell their minis on eBay because they're not people like me who love to collect little mini things, so their trash is my treasure, right? So moving on to the middle section. So I often get asked, I would say the most questions I get asked is about this little Chanel powder compact. So I got mine from a seller who used to work at the Chanel beauty counter. And so this is old. Like, I do not actually use this because it's very old, but it is really cute. It does have actual powder in it. And you actually can find this because I think they did bring it back. A few of my friends who have great relationships with their Chanel SAs were able to snag them. So I have seen them on eBay too, but they do go for a very pretty penny. So be aware. They aren't cheap, but if you are a luxury mini makeup fanatic, you will definitely want to have that in your collection. Another really popular one is this Charlotte Tilbury powder. Something that I love though is I was able to find this little powder puff that fits in here, which is really handy because if I were to actually use this in my bag, it's kind of annoying to have a separate beauty blender. So these fit in perfectly. I found this on eBay as well. It fits and it closes with no issues. So one of the newer minis that I have is from Marc Jacobs. Now, when I say newer, I mean newer to my collection, but this is actually a discontinued product, though there is a lot of, I don't know if it's rumor or if it's official now, that Marc Jacobs is bringing his beauty line back. But this is definitely from his old collection. So this is a bronzer. And I do love his beauty products. So I'm very excited that it is coming back. And I just love this little compact because it's not only small, but it's very flat, so it's easy to fit into mini bags. So here is a perfume from Merit Beauty, and I absolutely love this because not only is it really tiny and it is a spray instead of a rollerball, which I prefer, but this one actually screws open. So I can actually either refill this because I do have the full-size perfume, or I can just fill it with something else down the road once I run out. So I absolutely love this little one. It's a great size. Another makeup item I share a lot in my content are these like little pill capsules that are actual lipsticks, or these ones here, which are eyeshadows. Just so you know, they're all from Amazon. So another one I get a lot of questions on are these little minis. So these are from Carolina Herrera, and they are minis that came as either samples. I found this one on eBay, and then this one came from a Macy's mini sampler kit. And so these are tiny little lipsticks. But they are absolutely adorable, and I love the packaging, and the size is just so good for mini bags, so I definitely recommend these. I wonder if you guys can see where my little Louis Vuitton minis are hiding. Do you see them? They are right here. So here they are. Aren't these so cute? They are tiny, guys. But apparently Louis Vuitton did offer these little samples to customers overseas. So I think these were either from Australia or some of the Asian countries, but they are the actual authentic products. I did see people post these on social media, and I knew I had to find them. I don't think I realized just how small they are, but I actually love them even more because they are so tiny. So these are definitely my new little pride and joys. They came in on Tuesday, which is the day I actually released my recent updated mini makeup haul. So these ones didn't make the cut, but they will be featured in my next video. So you guys are seeing them first. Okay, so now for the bottom section, these are my kind of larger minis, but they are some of my favorites and I do include them in my content. So I have some of my favorite perfumes down here. These little Gucci ones I just think are so cute. They look just like the larger sizes. Same, of course, with the mini Miss Dior's. These are adorable. One of these will be in my giveaway. I also love Huda Beauty has their whole mini line now, and these blushes are just adorable. Like, they're so tiny, and so I have a few colors of those. And I also have a YSL Beauty Cushion Compact. This one I feel like is pretty popular. I get a lot of questions about this. Now, I believe that they do offer these in Asia, but it's not something that is available in the US. So I had found mine off of eBay. So I hope this answers some of your questions about my actual mini makeup collection. Again, this isn't all of them, but these are definitely my favorites and the ones that I gravitate towards when I share content. And again, in terms of storage, if you guys can find something like this, it's really handy. Again, I got mine at Five and Below. You can find them at Amazon, Target, all over the place. But yep, and so now it just folds all back up and snaps shut, and there we go. So now let's go ahead and talk through some of my tips and tricks for where to find these items. So I would say one of the most popular and easy ways to get miniatures, especially in these tiny sizes, are as gifts with purchase. And the most popular places I would say you can find them are Sephora and Ulta. Now, Sephora has two ways that you can snag things. The first being they do what they're called, I think, offers. So if you go to the offers section of their Sephora website, you'll see that oftentimes they have these like little mini gifts with purchase. If you spend typically somewhere between $35 and $45, you can pick up whatever mini that they are providing. Now, the higher up in their Sephora membership that you are, sometimes I believe the Rouge members will get special deluxe rewards as well. So that's just something to keep in mind if you do purchase a lot from Sephora. As a member, you also get access to their rewards bazaar. Now, in the rewards bazaar, it's basically made up entirely of little deluxe minis such as these. So I have gotten a large number of them through the rewards bazaar. I typically just save up all of my points, and then when I see one I like, I throw it into my cart when I'm making a purchase. You can also be sure to check at the counter at your actual physical Sephora location, and they often have a lot of really good options there as well. And so whenever I'm in the store, I always check. If you go in the store, you don't actually have to make a purchase in order to pick up a mini. You just give them your membership information and they'll deduct the points off of your account, and you can just walk out and having not spent a penny. So that's a great option as well. Now, Ulta, I would say, has really good gifts with purchase promotions, far better than Sephora, in the sense that, they'll come in these sets of, it's a higher dollar amount. So usually it's like somewhere between $50 to $100, but you can get these gift with purchase sets. Sometimes they come with cosmetic pouches, sometimes they are themed for hair or skin or beauty, but I always keep an eye for those. I tend to wait to make my purchases for when those types of promotions exist, and when they do, that is again another way I stock up on a lot of these minis. So speaking of gifts with purchase, brands often provide gifts with purchase through retailers such as Ulta, as well as many department stores like Macy's and Nordstrom's and Saks. So I would definitely keep an eye out for those as well, because especially in places like Ulta, you can get the brand's gift with purchase, but then also combine it with the Ulta gift with purchase to go towards that threshold too. And of course, it's always beneficial to check the beauty brands' websites as well. Dior is one I always talk about. They have some of the best gifts with purchase, in my opinion, and they often include little minis such as the mini lip glosses, mini lipsticks, mini perfumes. So that is a gold mine if you love mini products. I've also noticed brands like Prada and YSL Beauty also give great gifts with purchase as well. So again, that's another place to keep an eye on. Another place that I go is simply eBay, Mercari, or the resale market. Because again, as I mentioned, there are often people that are selling these minis because they just know they're never going to use them. And so it's a way to take advantage of the fact that, you know, people don't love them like we do, and so they'll sell them often in bulk or in little minis. So whenever I do post my content on social media, I always make sure to try and link to anything I can find, and those are typically ones off of eBay. Finally, I think brands are starting to pick up on the fact that people just love mini makeup so much. And so brands are now starting to offer their own packages of minis and selling them. Brands like Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Target, other department stores are starting to put together their own like favorites edition, and they will compile lots of tiny mini makeup versions together and sell them in packs, which is kind of nice because then you don't have to, you know, wait for a specific gifts with purchase to drop. You can just go into the store and buy a popular set that has some of the minis that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. Originally, I had added a whole bunch of content in here of different makeup sets that are available at places like Sephora and Ulta and Amazon, but I'll cut that for a separate video because this is just gonna get too long in one video alone. So as promised, I do want to give a few more details about the giveaway. So again, I'm just so grateful for this community, especially here on YouTube. I really just have a special place in my heart for long form content, and it does take so much work. So when I see your comments, when I get your feedback that you guys just enjoy it or you found it helpful, it just means so much to me, and I wanted to be able to give back. So like I said, I will be doing a number of giveaways over the next few months. So we're starting out with minis. So this set here is a adorable little mini backpack that does have a clip so you can attach it to your bag. It comes with some of my favorite minis, to include some Dior products, some mini Tic Tacs, which are my absolute favorites. They're so cute. One of the Burt's Bees, a clip, some other little mini things, and then a little cute bag charm as well. This is going to be designated for the United States only. I do apologize. It's just there's a lot more added complexity involved in international giveaways. So for those of you who do plan to participate, please like, subscribe, and save this video. If you would like, I would love if you also turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I post. And then in the comments below, please include which mini out of this video was your favorite, and also include your Instagram handle so that I can contact you. Now, I am going to include my handle here for you. Please ensure, if you get a message and you think it is me, that you are getting it from this exact Instagram handle. There are fake scammers out there. Please note, I will not be asking for any payment information. I will only be reaching out to let you know you've won and ask for a shipping address. If there's anything else I left out, I'll be sure to include all of the details in my description below, so definitely double check there. But again, I just want to thank you all for the support and the love that you give to my channel. And again, I do plan to be doing more giveaways between now and the end of the year, so be sure to check in, and I hope to see you again If you would like to watch more of my content, I'll be sure to include a playlist here, and then YouTube will include a video they think you will like here. Other than that, bye for now.